Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about a new show that premiered on TLC. Now has a similar background of a show that's already on, but this time it's just a different version. It's the 1,000 Pound Sisters, okay, who are really besties, sisters, whatever you call it, but brand new on TLC. And you know what? I'm here for it. It's a different way to look at people who are going through possible food addiction in a different way that's not like the show that's already on TLC or other channels, stuff like that. So here we go. So hopefully y'all have got a chance to watch it. The show comes out on Tuesdays, streaming on Wednesdays, and we're going to talk about it on Thursday. And let me put a picture up for the show. Here we go. We're talking about the 1,000 Pound Roomies. Okay, we have Miss Jaz. That's Jaz, and we have Nesha. So, yes, Roomies, sisters, not by blood, but by friendship. And here we go. So, I'm excited to watch something new, something different. I've been wanting something new to come along, and here we go. And I don't think that this show is going to disappoint. We're going to follow their journeys together, and I do believe we're going to see their journeys separately. And I'm interested in knowing, if there's going to be success by the end of this season, or hopefully they get picked up by, with another season to see what's going on with Jaz and her weight loss. So let me put Jaz back up there. Jaz, all right. At the taping of the show, she was 40. So she's probably 41, pushing 42 now. And Miss Nesha, I learned, was 37 at the taping of the show. So 38, 39, whenever their birthdays fall, or whenever, these shows are produced and put out. Because you never know, just like for the 90 Day Fiancés that I do on this channel, a lot of times the 90 Day franchise on TLC is taped a year or more in advance. So, they could be much, much, much older now. So, all right. We're going to talk about episode 1 a little bit to get everybody acclimated and then jump into episode 2. So thank you for joining live. I appreciate it. If you're on a replay, I appreciate that too. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. There's other things to come on this channel. And if you've been subscribed, no matter if you're A1 day ones or came along, as the time has gone on, I appreciate you too. I really, really, truly do. Not just saying that. I really appreciate everybody watching for the support and everything like that. So hello to Miss Tamika. How you doing? And Jaz and Vince from the Jasmine Show. Thank you for joining. All right. I'm already going to drop the link in the chat, and we can talk about this going forward live. So if you want to be on the panel, talk about it, you can. If you're new here, go ahead and in the comment section, follow the link. I'm trying to get my bra strip taken care of, y'all. I apologize. Follow the link and you'll be popped up backstage. And if you are brand new here, I'll have to see your face before you come on screen. And then, you could turn your camera off. Remember, if you are in the chat and you want to participate, if you have any curse words, please misspell those curse words. I appreciate it. All right. So let's get started. So in episode 1, we're introduced to Jaz and Nesha, who explained they met on a BBW or SSBBW, which stands for Supersize Big Beautiful Woman website. And I actually looked that up, and it exists. There's Facebook groups, many Instagram groups of different women of different sizes, and it does, proportion you, like, are you a BBW, are you SSBBW, or whatever the case may be. And Nesha is also a makeup artist. Let me put her picture back up just in case, till we get acclimated with her. Nesha is also a makeup artist who's currently working with her mother in in-home daycare. And Jaz is a social media influencer who has a 9-year-old daughter named Nana. Now, they both bond over food. Okay. We saw that in the first episode now where they enjoy, Nesha does all the cooking. Okay. They enjoy lots of takeout, whether they go get it, is brought to the house or whatever. They like their snacks. They have a lot of snacks. I'm not hating on the snacks, but it's a lot of snacks. But the breakfast is what took me over the edge. I'm like, whew, like that breakfast was enough for like a couple days for me. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about them. So they bond over food, and clearly, they both agree they have a food addiction. But here's the thing, though: Jaz has pain in her legs that's getting worse as the days go by, she says, from, all the weight she's gained, and she's not as mobile as Nesha. Now, one thing, I do like both of their personalities, but I will say Nesha is the most outgoing of the two versus Jaz. Nesha likes to go to the pool. She likes to go to the beach. She likes her takeout. She likes her sweet. She likes just everything. She's just way more outgoing versus Jaz, who has gained so much weight over the years. And, with her, she has more health problems going on. She's more of an introvert. She says she's a house body, and, she just likes to be in the house. And on top of that, she doesn't like being out in the open where, she feels like people are staring at her or, taking pictures of her. And let me just say, if people are taking pictures, I mean, what are we doing? Why are we taking pictures of people that are obese or who you figure like extra obese or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have a problem with that, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? I just personally think that's rude. That's something I would never do. That's like taking pictures and gawking and staring, someone who's an adult who's supposed to be mature, someone like with any handicap or a little person or something like that. So, I mean, that's a lot. I can understand why she don't want to get out, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I wouldn't necessarily but I have a different personality though. Okay. Because you can say whatever you want about me. That just goes in one ear out the other, or what they say, like kids say, I'm rubber, you're glue, will bounce off of me, stick to you. Miss me with all that. Been that way for all my life. So if you don't like it, that's on you. Okay. But everybody don't have this type of personality. Okay. So anyways, comments Tamika says that breakfast was a bit much. Literally, it was a bit much, but okay. When you are used to eat like that, that's what you do though. But I was taken aback by the breakfast sandwiches. Like you lay the hash brown and you lay the breakfast sandwich and another hash brown. And I was like, oh my God. But you know what I'm saying? But I do the same thing on the other show. What's the show? My 600-Pound Life. Like those people have a food addiction too. I'd be like, how can someone eat like that? Like not just all day, but just like for a portion of a meal. But you have to have that lifestyle to know. And I don't have that lifestyle to know, not trying to know. It's not for me. Okay. Anyways, Jasmine shows that breakfast for a family of 6. Okay. Well, it was her, Nesha and Jaz. So, okay. Anyways, Tamika, you say Nesha has a "I'ma be me" attitude and she can care less about anybody. Exactly, which I find very fascinating because she does mention on episode 1 that she grew up, and she mentions again in episode 2 that she grew up. She gave more info on episode 2 that she grew up in a cult from infancy to her early 20s. So for her to have a "she could care less" attitude, I'm guessing she got that after her family got out the cult, because they say she said the cult was very restrictive. So I don't know where that attitude necessarily came from, but I'm glad she got it and it's not letting nothing slow her down. No outfits. Okay. Because, we all feel, we have certain outfits that you can't tell me nothing about. Okay. This is me. I'm doing me. Okay. But see, everybody don't think that way. And you're not supposed to care what everybody thinks. You're only supposed to care what you think and keep it pushing. All right. That's the kind of attitude she has. And I like that she has that. All right. Tamika, you also say they take pictures, make fun of people, and make memes. I know they do that, but when you grown for real, like for real, I mean, miss me, miss you, miss the universe with that childish attitude. You know what I'm saying? So, but whatever. There is a space for that, but it's a very small space, in my opinion. The Jasmine Show says Nesha's trying to establish a new norm of what real life looks like. I couldn't imagine growing up in a cult. I can't either. I can't. But hopefully we get to know more about that as the show progresses, and maybe she gets to offer more of a reason why maybe she put on weight, because she said they both of them said they have always been heavy, right? So with the cult being so restrictive, maybe that type of trauma, I don't know. I don't want to speak for her, but I could like guess about what maybe it could possibly be. Hey, Devontae. All right. So also in episode 1, real quick, Jaz decided that she wants to have weight loss surgery. She's been thinking about it for a long time. But before she goes to that weight loss surgery, though, she has a friend that comes over. I can't remember what her friend's name is. The friend with the dog. Okay. Now I thought the dog was cute in episode 2 with this little coat on. I'm like, that coat's a little bit too big for that dog, but okay. I see you, friend. The friend was saying, they mentioned that this friend of Jaz's, she had already lost 200 pounds naturally. So she was going to come over to give advice to her friend, right? So apparently I'm guessing that this friend of Jaz, Nesha knows who it is, but you know how it is, like you have a friend that's your friend, but your friend isn't friend with that friend. That's the vibe it was giving me. I could be wrong, but whatever. So Jaz's friend came by and it was like, yeah, I have this life expectancy app or whatever. Let's go through it and see, where you are, because you put on a bunch of weight and, we need to know what's going on. So the life expectancy app said that she had maybe like 4 or 5 more years left based off her size. And she got to being, more depressed. And I already think that Jaz is already on the, I don't want to say depressed side, but it's giving that energy because she's gained so much weight. And even though she says she's a homebody by force because her legs hurt. She's not as mobile. You know what I'm saying? So that will put you in a different mind space, right? So, she's like, oh my gosh, I have to be here for Nana, her daughter, and her family, and, her daughter deserves more. She deserves more and everything else. And yes, she does. So that's when they decide, well, when they, Jaz and Nesha go to the weight loss doctor and they talk about, would you say Jaz, the baby mama friend, was a real one? Yes, she was. Her weight. And the thing is, Jaz, it was hard for her to even go to the pool. With Nesha and her daughter, it was hard for her to go anywhere because, they carry a chair around. When we talked about it briefly, Tuesday, Tamika and Devontae said it was like a church chair that holds up to 1,000 pounds. I'm like, I guess, right? But if you notice episode 2, they got rid of the chair and she got a wheelchair. And I'm like, I would think the wheelchair would be a little bit better to move around in. But then again, when we went to the beach, maybe not in the sand, but that's neither here nor there. So it turned out that Jaz weighed like 620 pounds, and she was surprised that she weighed that much, and she didn't think that she was that heavy. But, you could kind of, she said she was like guessing about how much she was weighing. She said she was like maybe 5 something. So when you weigh more than you think you do, again, that'd be like, dang, I got this big in this amount of time. So the doctor, even though the doctors are supposed to tell you, some doctors to me don't have bedside manner at all. I mean, I don't care what kind of doctor they are. They could be an eye doctor, a dentist, a primary doctor, whatever. And I've seen a lot. Okay. A lot of them don't have that bedside manner. They just tell you what it is, what they've learned, what they study, whatever. It's like, you tell me what the results are. Like, yeah, I could possibly lose my life for being this heavy. But, have a little bit of empathy too. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. So then Jaz tried to turn it around on Nesha. It was like, well, girl, how much do you weigh? She's like, listen, okay, this is not my appointment. This is your appointment. But if you need to know, okay, I get weighed regularly. Last time I was weighed, I was 425. And she was like, I'm not here for surgery. I don't even agree with surgery. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You want your friend to be there for you. And Nesha did say she would be there for Jaz, and whatever it took, they would commit, right? both of them together. So Jaz commits to losing 130 pounds before she's going to go surgery. And she's nervous about that. I get any surgery, for a lot of people, you get nervous, and especially a huge surgery, what I'm saying? Because anything can go wrong, whether if they're not even expecting it, it can. To make it right, empathy goes a long way. So drop the link again if y'all want to come up. If not, that's cool. So now we're up to episode 2. All right. So we're up to episode 2. This was Tuesday episode. So we are right where we need to be. And again, I dropped the link if y'all want to come up. If not, that's fine. I could just go ahead and give it a verbal review. I'm cool with that, y'all. Okay. So, and I almost, but I didn't want to make it seem like I was shaming, because I'm not. Listen, I got weight on me too. I'm not close to their size or nothing, but I got weight on me too. I'm a BBW. Okay, I'm right in the middle of the BBWs. Not too big, not too small. But you know what I'm saying? I was gonna get some Jack in the Box just to, for the show. I've done little things for different shows before. I'm like, nah, not gonna do it this time. All right. Anyways, so episode 2. When we start the episode, where they at though? They in the kitchen. Well, Nesha's in the kitchen, cooking up. I mean, at first I thought they were burgers. Y'all, you still watching episode 2, Tamika? Okay, I'm just starting in the beginning. When y'all saw episode 2, in the beginning, when Nesha was in the kitchen, let me put her picture back up. Like it says, a new show, so maybe we don't necessarily know who's who yet. That's Nesha, okay? That's Jaz. All right. Now, when Nesha was in the kitchen, cooking breakfast, I was like, they eating burgers already in the morning? That's not far-fetched on some of these shows where, weight management comes in. That's not far-fetched, right? So I'm not being like, right, Jaz, they look like burgers. But it was breakfast, so it was sausage. I'm like, this is something bigger. Now, I've never made my Jimmy Beans that big now, because they really look like they was some burgers. But apparently, Jaz has got on the shot. She takes her shot weekly. She's down 40 pounds. And so she decided, they both decided, I don't know if it was Jaz first or Nesha, but maybe together, that they was going to have a cheat day. And I'm like, a cheat? Okay. If you ever been on a diet or whatever, you may throw in a cheat day. Most of us have, right? But your cheat day shouldn't be like all that sausage, all them potatoes, all the toast and whatever else they had. Jaz wanted her some grits. I'm with you on the grits now. Okay, feel you on that. And grits is supposed to be healthy. But the quantity of the breakfast, I'm like, no. If this is your cheat day, this is it for the rest of the day, the weekend, whatever. Okay. Now, Jaz has decided to take her weight loss shot in advance of the breakfast. Now, for people who've been on weight loss shots, whether it's you personally or somebody and you just read up on the details or whatever, or saw it on maybe social media, they say that it makes you, I don't know about that. They say it makes you full fast. And that's what helps you like not want to eat as much and, kind of like it regulates your body if you're one of the few who can, tolerate the shot. Okay, so Jaz wasn't supposed to take her shot, whether it be like that day or before the breakfast. Well, the breakfast comes out that Nesha cooked, and she's like, you made the grits the way I want it, girl. Yes, it's looking good. Nesha was ready to chow down. Jaz was ready to chow down too, but when she got to eating 2 bites of them grits, excuse me, y'all, she was like, ooh, I can't. She's like, girl, don't tell me I made all this good food that you can't eat. I'm sorry. I'll say it for later. You're not going to say. I mean, now they're arguing about the breakfast. I'm like, oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I get it that y'all want a cheat day, okay? And you knew that your friend took her shot even though she was supposed to put it off. Even if she didn't take it, she probably still wouldn't be able to eat all that food because she's not too used to eating all that food anymore. So she's on them shots though. So why get upset, girl? You just eat the food you ate and let her mind her business, okay? So that's just me. What you say, Jasmine? Chef? All that processed meat, you don't need sausage and bacon. Listen, if you at a buffet and it's there, grab you a sausage and bacon if you're at a buffet. That's what buffets are for. You're paying your money. All right. But them sausages, we both agreed now, those sausages look like burgers. So they were big enough to be like on a biscuit or something with some eggs and some grits on the side. I mean, they was really going for it. But, you know, it turns out that Nesha, she slacked on not necessarily supporting Jaz, but in the way that, you know, the food is in the house. You know, the snacks are still there. They're in reach of Jaz. And you could see that Jaz has lost weight. You could tell she's walking down the hallway better. Matter of fact, she's walking without the chair or the wheelchair. So you can see that there's a little something going on, right? And so I'm like, that's cool. But why is she going to ask Nesha, though, hey, you want to wait? You want to get weighed? She's like, no, we don't want to get weighed for. We eating breakfast. And I'm the same thing. Like, why are we talking about get on the scale? This about you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get weighed, if you want to weigh yourself. Don't ask me. Okay, this is about you. Listen, Nesha already said that, listen, I'll help you, but I'm not trying to let the scale run me, whatever I got to do. So I was like, okay. So let me read your comment. Tamika, you said this was cheat days. She put S, right? A cheat days extra cookie or some ice cream. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. You know, all the sausages and the bacon and the potatoes and the grits and all that stuff. Listen, that was probably like the all day cheat day. You know what I'm saying? Or if it was a weekend, the weekend cheat day, because that all the grease that the sausage put out by itself, I was like, whoa. All right. So anyways, the episode later goes on to where we find out that Jaz has got invited to her granny's house for a Sunday dinner, and she is apprehensive of going because they haven't seen her in a few years. They haven't seen their great-granddaughter Nana either, and she wants to see them, but she's afraid that they will, you know, be upset with her for all the weight that she's gained throughout the years. And she asked Nesha to come, and Nesha said, yeah, I'll come. But, you know, if it's anything about church or anything like that, listen, I'm gone. You know, sorry about my bra strap, y'all. I'm wearing a Millennial Mom shirt, so it's like a half shirt. That's why it keeps going off my shoulder. So anyways, if it's anything about church, anything religious, you know, I'm gone because I don't do that, right? So she's like, no, it's not gonna be like that. And, you know, my family is cool. I just want some support. And I'm happy that Nesha actually was able to support Jaz. And I do believe they have that kind of friendship where they would do that for each other. So also Jaz, probably more likely Nesha has signed Jaz up for like pool aquatics for anybody. You know, they have like, you could like pool exercise for any age group, and you know, also helps for weight loss, because when you're in a pool, you're supposed to be weightless, right? Well, you are weightless, but you know, with the weights and things like that. So they're going to a class, and of course, Jaz gets in the car, and she's always complaining about a car, whether it be an Uber, okay, Jaz's car. I'm like, what, girl? Stop complaining about the car. 1, 2, and 3. You already know. You described yourself, so I'm gonna use the term as a SSBBW. I mean, weren't you in the car like big girls in the house, big girls so fine, big girls this, big girls that? Weren't that you? So whatever car you can get in to go where you need to go, get your butt literally in the car and go. Okay, we don't want to hear you complaining. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to hear you complain every episode about your behind literally not being able to get in the car. All right. So anyways, they do get up to the pool place to do the exercise and everything. And listen, if you have enough confidence, and they both do, okay, to wear their bathing suits and the shorts and just all the different things that they wear. You know, you don't, every place they pull up, Jazz is like, I don't want to go. I don't want to. Girl, how's you supposed to get healthy? How's you supposed to get fit? You know what I'm saying? You on this weight loss journey, you working with a doctor, get your behind in the pool. Okay? Get your behind in the pool. She finally is able to get in the pool. Now, I know she is a little apprehensive because, again, her leg is hurting. So she feels like she's going to fall and, you know, there's not going to be enough room or enough support. But she ends up getting in there. And I was proud of her for that. Now, there's always a little bit of shady production going on. Always, always, always. Okay? I don't care what TV show it is. But they got the pool instructor that's doing the class for today. She's like, you know, I've never worked with anybody this size before, so it's going to be a challenge. Lady, we do not need your extra comments, okay? Whatever they come in a pool with, however the size, age, make, model, whatever, deal with it. That's your job. And hello, where's the lifeguards on duty anyway? Okay, miss me with that. Lady, please. Right. Girl, we said Tamika production, no, they're not right. They're not right. She didn't have to say that. She didn't have to say that. Okay. Listen, we probably knew that anyways, but she didn't have to say that. Anyways, like I said, I was proud of Jazz for going and you know, go doing the water aerobics. But I really am gonna need her to stop complaining about everybody's car, okay? That she may or may not fit into. Okay, that's anyway, let me drink this. All right, after that in the episode, Nesha said that, girl, maybe we need to get our hair done to see your family because, you know, we don't want to go over there raggedy. Now, let me just say, I never thought that, you know, either one of them look raggedy, but I get it. You want a fresh do. Maybe you wear a new outfit. They haven't seen you a little while. You know, make yourself feel good about yourself. So, cool. But who comes to take them to the hair salon because Nesha's car broke down? It's Nesha's situationship. I didn't write his name down. They've known each other for a while, a few years. Now, I'm kind of curious if he was also, and y'all let me know, was this before her getting out the cult or after? Because she said about 15 years. So clearly he was in the cult too, or maybe just attended the church with the cult. I don't know how that works. Not trying to know. But anyways, she said that she's happy if he's dating someone else. And he said he's happy if she's dating someone else, but they've always not been able to date each other at the same time because they was always with someone else. And then Jazz was like, y'all just go ahead and say you humping. Okay. I'm like, girl, hello. Don't nobody care. You grown. Whatever it is, what it is, y'all figure it out. If y'all want to be together, you will. Okay. That is just the classic friends with benefits. Okay. All right. So, of course, they're on the way to nail salon, and here go Miss Jazz, the complainer. She complained about the car, but you know she don't even like hearing the conversation with Nesha and her friend. All right, she's in the backseat rolling her eyes. I'm like, girl, just enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying? But she got a lot on her mind, whether it be the car, her family, or whatever the case may be. But we do learn that she is worried about fitting in the salon chair. Now, this, I can see why she would be concerned, because sometimes in salon chairs, y'all ever get in some salon chairs and they do be a little snug. And that's just for, like, I don't want to say regular size, average size people, but just like, they just seem like they just a little snug. Like you get in there, you just in there, right? And then they throw your head back to the shampoo bowl, and then shampoo bowl just be hitting you in the back of the neck. You'd be like, Lord, right? And the water be too hot when they turn it on. It's a bunch of stuff going on sometimes in the hair shop. But anyways, they get in there. It's a friend of Nesha that was also from the cult back in the day. And, you know, she's saying how she's assisting her friend Jazz, and, you know, she hope don't know church stuff come along, and her friend was like, yeah, girl, I understand. But at the same time, in confessional, with production, she said that, Nesha needs to know that it's not about God, it's about the church specifically. So, yeah. Emily Aguilar, you're bored of what? Okay. All right. Well, we'll holler at you, girl. Anyway. So, so Jaz gets in there and she's able to sit in the chair. The hair is done. And, I think she's happy. But just the bottom line with Jaz is how much weight she's gained in her family. So when they do finally make it to, after salon, they do finally make it to Jaz's family's house. The granny is there, Pop-Pop is there, her mama's there, a family friend is there. So it's Nesha, her, and Nana. Listen, they got the catfish going on. They got potato salad, all kind of stuff. And Miss Ma'am, the family friend, when it's time to eat, is just like, she just making the place like, you need some more. You need, we're going to put some more. We're going to put some more stuff on the plate. I was like, how come they didn't say one plate is enough for now? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't keep, just because I'm big, you don't got to keep feeding me. When I want some more, right? So, which say to me, the food did look good though. Yeah, that fish did look good. So, bottom line is, Jaz says in confessional, if Granny doesn't approve the surgery, she's not going to get the surgery done. And Granny said she really don't want her to get the surgery. But let me jump backwards a little bit. When it came to blessing the food, because that's what Jaz's family does, she asked Nesha to bless the food. She's like, no, just, I'm not comfortable with doing that. So, she finally said something like, the food looks good. Let us all enjoy it. Amen. I said, well, that's the best way to get it done. And in confessional, when Jaz says, I would have told my granny, hell no. Jaz said, if you'd have told my granny, hell no, I'm going to cut in the throat. Okay, because that's not what we do over here. But it's just the fact of Jaz needs to make her own decision, right? What she wants to do. I know she respects her grandmother because she said it. But, if she wants to go the natural way, then maybe the shots will help. We'll have to see as the show goes along if she gets the surgery, weight loss surgery, or she gets something done for the sake of whatever's going on in her leg. Because the preview showed her going into surgery, but we don't necessarily know what kind of surgery. So maybe she got like a growth in her leg or something like that. I don't know, but we'll have to see. But I will say also too that as the show progresses, if y'all notice, you can see Jaz losing the weight from the top down. She's slimming down from the top down. So yeah, making it work. So this is episode 2. So, we have to continue to see how many episodes it's going to be and, how it's going to play out. Tamika, you said this is how she usually eats. That's why they're piling on. I know, but you know what I'm saying? If that's how I usually eat, that don't mean, I'm telling you while you piling on that I'm considering weight loss surgery and I've lost 40 pounds already. If someone told you they lost 40 pounds, you're not gonna be like, here you go, baby. Here you go. Take some more. Take some more. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what in the world? Tamika, you also say, when Granny say pray, you better pray like our Father. Shoot. I mean, Nesha got out of it, though. She said what she could, and I give her that. So I think in that time, maybe Jaz could have, when Nesha said the little words that she said, I don't want to say little, but the few words that she said, maybe Jaz could have stepped in and said maybe a few more. Because in confessional, Jaz was like, oh, well, it was a little short. And I'm like, but your friend isn't comfortable with prayer and the different things that's around there. So she could have helped her friend out. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. But to me, it looks like the show is going to be interesting from the perspective of Black Girl Magic, okay? And the journey of two friends, one that actively wants to lose weight and one that doesn't. That's okay with the snacks and everything else, and how that dynamic is going to work as the show goes on, because you could kind of see like a little bit of hidden tension in there, especially with the snacks with a friend coming over and like cleaning out the refrigerator, and she's like, I'm not giving up my snacks. And did you see all the donuts and the loaf cakes and the cereal that Nesha took to her room? She's like, I bought that. That's not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here for the show, like I said. So I'm watching it. Hopefully y'all watch it too, and y'all come along for the ride. Next time, hopefully some of y'all will come on the panel and give your opinions on what you think, no matter who you are, whether you've been on the panel or not, or just in the comments. I appreciate that. So again, the show, 1,000 Pound Roomies. Let me put the picture up. I'm not going to keep y'all. 1,000 Pound Roomies. Right here, Jaz and Nesha comes on Tuesday nights on TLC, streaming on Wednesdays. I will be live on Thursdays, around this same time, to talk about the show. So it gives people a chance to catch up on it if you haven't seen it on the streaming or live. And we'll go on there. You'll be on next week. Whether you're here, it's up to you or not. I'm just saying. So just for a different perspective, I will just keep going on and going on. So not a big deal. And don't want to bore Emily Aguilar. If you bored, oh well, catch the replay. All right. That's how we do things over here on Millennial Mom featuring Kay. All right. So anybody else in the comments have anything else to add for Miss Jaz and Nesha for next week or the upcoming episode? If not, I will let y'all go and enjoy your evening. So just want to touch bases on episodes 1 and 2. Like I said, going forward, I don't know how many episodes. Hopefully is at least 8. 10 would be ideal to get us through the summer, so we can see exactly how the weight loss journey is going, the friendship and all that ties in together. So that's what I would like to see. So if not, all right, y'all. Well, I will see y'all next week. I appreciate your time. And until next time, live simply, be grateful. See y'all later. Have a good evening. Good night, everyone.